Great. Next onwards to T&M Logistics. I'm sure it's now supposed to be T3 Logistics. Nice to see your faces. It's really nice that you followed through with the instructions so I can actually see who's in the class, part of the group. This is really good. I see you commented in that section, so I'll just make sure to look at that. Activity 3, I think that's in the comments. Let me just look for 7 is what I'm looking for now. Here we go. Levels of service contact for, as I mentioned to all groups, I didn't check in detail what your business is about, because when I read your answers, I want to see how it links to your business so there's no confusion as to what you offer. So you say high contact, interact with our delivery team when their packages are out for delivery, or medium contact. Okay, so that's perfect. Remember, you interpreted all of this, which shows me you understand the difference. When you get to the test, though, you need to check the context of that case study, business or brand, then indicate which one would be appropriate. For yours overall, I would say if it's business to business, it would be medium. So Pick n Pay is looking for a logistics solution. They use you as a third-party provider, and then they use low contact. In other words, they do everything online, place the order, do the payment. But when it gets to their warehouse or their storage facility, then of course they would be interaction face-to-face. With high contact, not quite sure. You need to argue a big thing for high, because high is typically, if it was transport, if you transported people like logistics for like a bus service, then that would be high involvement, because we can't transport people without them being in the bus. Contact type, here you mentioned customer visits the service provider, which is you. So what you would take further for services, what services? So to discuss options, contracts, to deliver or to drop off goods, and such. And then the service provider visits the customer. Okay, so this is fine. Another scenario could be if you are the third party for Pick n Pay, of course you need to find the stock somewhere. So you as the customer, you as a service provider instead will visit the Pick n Pay warehouse warehouse, and then pick up the inventory they need shipped, transported, and then you do that. And then you visit the customer. At arm's length, there is no, considering your business offering, there's no only or separate only at digital or electronic or at arm's length. Yours is purely one of these two. So remember again, in the test, you have to identify which one is the primary one and then motivate. Look at the mark allocation. If we have a look at, let me just quickly check 7 point. I just need to find the chronological order so I can keep track on feedback. Okay, so I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong afterwards, but I don't see 7.2. Please watch other videos before you write the test. Then we have, that's for 7.2 and 7.3. Please, you need to do that. It's very vital that you do. For activity 8.1, okay, so yes, good short and long-term goals. You need to provide me with the actual goals. You want to be the leading logistics partner for business ABC that offers sustainable solutions to transport their goods from A to B using insurance to make sure it arrives there safely without being damaged. What is your specific goals? What is your specific vision? Another way to interpret this is the who, what, when, where, how. Use all of those words and then just apply them independently. The who will always be a T&M Logistics, and then how would be using your freight, your trucks or your lorries, and so on. So you get what I'm saying. It's a bit late. Organizational requirements. So what I need here, and I literally, it's repeated in every video. If I go to your answers in the test for organizational requirements, go back to BMAN or just Google organizational structure. What I want to see is T&M Logistics, the manager, owner / CEO, We need the logistics manager. We need the inventory manager if they have a stockist that keeps track. Say, for example, they do the tick off list for when Pick n Pay uses them. We need the administrative staff. We need the marketing professionals. If you literally just draw that diagram, then I would give you your mark. So make sure you understand organizational structure with managerial requirements. You need to be a bit more practical. If you just say the warehouse manager needs to make sure he has his ducks in a row. In other words, he needs to make sure everyone under him that serves under him or her has to know exactly what tasks to do at what given time, and then be a conducive, provide a conducive, not learning, conducive working environment, and they need to be able to look up to this manager as a leader, anything like that. While this is valid for your business, you need someone that can understand how to, when it's relevant to package fragile items and not, for example, to stack heavy items on fragile items, or those packages that don't weigh a lot or can easily be damaged. And then, of course, the employees that work with customers directly need to be positive, they need to be approachable, they need to have good communication skills, and they need to have knowledge of the businesses ins and outs. You can also watch a few other examples or just send me a message if you're still not sure, but yours is a good start. It just needs to be practical with 8 point, I'm not seeing 8.2 just to make sure. So the last one then for you would be hire the right people. Okay, so you just mentioned broadly skills for a certain department. Just say you need a logistics manager because they need to schedule the departure and arrival time of the fleet to make sure whatever is being scheduled arrives at the right or correct destination. So that practical example. You don't have to provide like a million answers. Look at the mock allocation. If you just said logistics manager, this and this and this, then that would be fine. To develop people through training, of course, you need a logistics manager that has planning skills, that workshops you have here, but what types of workshops? So just be a bit more practical. Empowerment. You only had to do 2 of this, but I will go through your answers in any way because you won't know which ones you'll get. So this is a good start again. So also, I'm guessing a lot of injuries can occur in this type of environment, and therefore they need to have a system where they can report any dodgy activities or any harmful or dangerous occurrences in the workplace. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So they need that support system, and then retain the best people. Yeah, so this is good. I would just take it further and to say if we really have a logistics personnel member that really is on the ball and they know exactly how to do everything, they're really efficient in their job, we would give them, well, it's against the law. When someone has worked for 3 months, you have to appoint them permanently. But I get what you're saying. So again, just apply to your context. Please watch a video for 8.2 because you are going to get that question in the test.